So hello everyone, this is Rakshit Raj and today we are discussing the LeetCode question number 1822, that is sign of the product of an array. The question is implement a function sign function of x that returns 1 if x is positive, -1 if x is negative and 0 if x is equal to 0. You are given an integer array nums. Let product be the product of all the values in the array nums. Return sign function of product. So the question wants to say here that we have been given an array that is nums and it consists of integers that are negative as well as positive, and it also contains 0. So what we have to do here is that we have to find the product of all the values that is in the array, and at last we have to see that if the the product value of all the values in the array is a positive or a negative or a 0. So as we can see in the example number 1 that the nums array consists of integers like -1, -2, -3, -4, 3, 2, 1. So the output is 1. We can see in the explanation that is the product of all values in the array is 144, and the sign function is 144. Sign function of 144 is 1, as 144 is a positive number. Again we can see in the example number 2 the input is nums. In the array we can see 1, 5, 0, 2 and -3. So we can see here that in the array there is a value that is 0, so we'll multiply anything with the 0, the answer is 0 at last, and hence we return 0 as the output here. So how can we do this question here is, so what we can do here is that we'll initialize a variable to store the sign function, and we'll initialize it with 1, as multiplying a positive number will always give 1 as a output, and we'll check just two conditions in the for loop. When the for loop travels through the array, we'll just check two conditions, that is the first condition is we'll check that if the value or the integer is a 0 or not. If it is a 0, we'll return 0 at the time itself, and if the number is a negative number, we'll multiply -1 in the sign function, or we can say a variable in which we have stored the sign function. After every time a negative number appears, we'll just multiply -1 with it, and at last we'll just return the sign function there. So how can we proceed to the question? Let's move to the code part. First of all, we'll do that we'll initialize a sign function which will store 1, -1 or 0. So first of all we'll initialize it with 1. After that we'll have a for loop which will store every number of the integer, every number of that is in the array nums. So it will store all the values in the nums in a variable num. Now we'll check that if the num is equal to 0. If yes, we'll return 0 here itself, and we'll have another condition that if num is less than 0, at this time what we'll do here is we'll multiply -1 in the variable sign, and yes, and Yeah, at last we'll just return the value of sign. And yes, that is all for the code part. Let's see if it passes the test cases. And yes, it passes all the test cases here. So now we'll submit this question. Yeah, it is correct here. So that was all for this question. Thank you.